Hi, I'm Brian from Atomic-Moto, and I am here to do a review of the Sidi X3, the mid-priced model in their off-road line. This boot fits a very specific position in the market. We'll give you the complete rundown on its construction, who it's for, and how it's going to work out on the bike. Let's get started. First of all, this boot comes in one color, black. It retails for $325 as of the filming this video, and it comes in sizes 40, which is approximately a US size 7, all the way up to a 50, which is approximately a US size 15. There's a size chart. Click the link on our Sidi product page and that'll pop up. That should help you with sizing. If you need additional help, give us a call or send us an email and we are more than happy to do that. This is an off-road boot model and it has very traditional, typical off-road boot features, starting with the method of sole construction that we prefer, and that is a welt sole. That means it is stitched on. This is much more sturdy. It yields a better fit because the boot has a better shape in the forefoot, and of course the boot can be resoled. It's also a more expensive way of producing a boot than bonding the sole on. We really like it, and the X3 has, of course, a stitched on sole. That's good. 4 buckles. Sidi's buckles are really nice and really easy to work with. They work in dirt, dust, mud, whatever. They're easy to replace, although I doubt you'll ever have to because they're really sturdy. They use a set and forget adjustment system on the buckles, meaning you can pop this out and lock it into place at the position that you need, and it stays in that position whether the boot is in the closet or on your legs. So every time you put them back on after when you're getting ready to ride, they're where you need them to be. Let's talk about the shell of the boot. The base material is something that they call Atomic-Moto, which is Lorica synthetic leather. It's a microfiber material basically, and it is used on many different Sidi models, both on and off-road boots, and they've used it on their cycling shoes for many years. It's really durable, and it has the advantage of being quite light. There's a nice inner burn guard, stamped leather on here. Plastic pieces all around the boot, nice plastic piece on the back, on the calf, all the way down just above the Achilles tendon. It has a little flex panel here above the Achilles tendon, but very little is exposed on the rear of the boot. That's quite good for when you stick your foot out, as I occasionally do, smack it into a stationary object and the foot peg comes up behind you and whacks you. The heel cup is nice and supportive on the boot, and then this inner plastic piece is also very supportive, wraps around it. The sole rigidity of this thing is outstanding, nice and protected, again, typical of an off-road boot. But very well executed, typical of a Sidi off-road boot. The best thing about the construction, the shell of this boot is, you've heard us say it before, I'm going to say it again, it has a mechanical hinge. This is a single pivot hinge, but it pivots on both the inner and the outer side of the ankle. And actually this hinge is one of the smoother single pivot models. It's intentionally designed to have a little bit easier, a little bit lighter flex to it. So this boot actually is far less stiff than other off-road models, especially even some of the more high-end models. It's nice and light. The internal padding of this boot is very ample. There is a thick memory foam padding here all the way down around the heel and up almost to the forefoot, and then a thinner pad around the forefoot. That pad is about a ½ inch or more thick and is covered with an antibacterial, anti-odor, antimicrobial fabric, and that gives a nice feel and helps you manage sweat on it. But again, speaking to this pad, it really nests and holds your foot very nicely, very snugly in the boot. The Sidi X3 has a wide fit, by the way. The forefoot, as you can see from this, is quite wide, and the heel area of the boot is quite narrow. This is a really good way. This is how a boot should fit. This is how a boot should be made. It should be nice and narrow and slim from the arch of your foot back to hold your heel and your ankle in place and give a lot of support. But the forefoot should be wide, and that width would accommodate someone who has a wide forefoot, but also not carry any penalty for someone who doesn't have a very wide forefoot, because the rear half of the boot is holding you in place. You just get a little extra room. In fact, in some cases, you can even go down a size. The other thing about this boot that I mentioned earlier is the weight. 3.88 pounds makes it one of the lighter boots in the off-road category. Sub 4 pounds is rare, and this one is sub 4 pounds. And going along with that weight, I want you to look at the profile of this. The X3 has an extraordinarily slim profile. The toe is very low. That combined with the really smooth and lighter flex hinge means it's really easy to get on the shift lever. And the overall profile of the boot is very slim, fits very form-fitting to the leg and tight to the bike, so not a lot of extra bulk. That's the basics. Let's talk about where this boot fits in the market and how it's going to work out on the motorcycle. All right, now anybody can get up here in front of a video camera and read off the bullet points of a product like a boot and talk about it. What is harder to do is to understand how the construction of a boot actually makes it fit into the market, what customers they're for, what position it occupies, what space it occupies out in the market relative to other products. This boot, the Sidi X3, is the motocross boot for people that don't ride motocross. More specifically, that means that the X3 is good for people who are off-road riders, who are adventure touring riders and doing a little bit more dirt, dual sport riders that spend some time on the street and also off-road, and anybody that wants a lighter or slimmer boot. That positioning, that light, slim boot, really doesn't exist in a lot of models in the industry, in the product offering. This one, not only it fits that description, but it is the best one in that category. Let me say it a third way. If you are an adventure touring rider and you want an off-road boot because you recognize that you need a lot more protection, this is great for you. If you are an off-road rider and you're really agile or athletic on the motorcycle and you want to keep your gear weight down, this boot is perfect for you. If you're a dual sport rider and you're riding a mix of dirt roads, logging roads, and some street to get there, and you want to be able to get off and walk around the motorcycle at a meet or just to take some pictures or what have you, this is the perfect boot for you. Why? Well, again, the weight. This thing feels really light on your feet. The other thing is the bulk. There isn't any. There is no extra bulk or space or volume on this boot. When you have them on, they just fit visibly smaller. I'm going to pull another boot that I like very much actually over here for comparison. This is the Garnet SG10. This is a size 46 and this is a size 46. The profile of this boot is much, much larger and the weight is greater by a full pound. Now it's more protective, grant you. So if you're a really serious off-road rider or someone doing motocross, this boot has some advantages. But if you are doing a blend of riding, you can see the different lighter, slimmer profile of this. In the past, our light and slim boot preference was this TCX X Helium. This is actually lighter than the Sidi and a little bit slimmer, but we've experienced some issues with protection and durability on this boot that this X3 doesn't have. And let me comment on that too. Sidi is arguably one of, if not the best quality motorcycle footwear manufacturer on the planet. When they want to, they can build some of the best footwear in the world. And there's 2 or 3 companies that we feel are in that list. It's a short list: Sidi, Garnet, and Forma in our opinion. But these guys definitely are near the top of the food chain. And the quality that they bring is very visible in this boot. Everything about it just screams, looks, feels, and even smells like high-end Italian footwear. That's outstanding. The other thing about it is a lot of really clever features to make it work for a large section of the market. It comes only in one color, so there's not a lot of arguing about that, but a really broad size range. Got a really big foot? No problem. Got a big calf? This actually opens up and will accommodate people up to about 19.5 inches. No problems there. Everything about this boot is just really, really well executed and fits that one specific niche that I was talking about. Doesn't have a lot of competition in that. So if you are that type of rider, this boot should be on your short list, perhaps at the top of your short list. It's really well executed, feels great on your feet, feels great both on and off the motorcycle, and of course the price on it is the mid section of the market, $325. That's a pretty darn good deal for so much quality and so many great features in it. So that's a review of the Sidi X3 boot, a boot we really like. We are at www.atomic-moto.com, home of the Bombers. We are mission focused on getting you the right gear for you, your bike, and your type of riding. We are product experts. We spend a lot of time getting to understand the gear that we sell, especially boots. We feel that we have the best boot knowledge in the industry. Check us out, throw us some tough questions, and see if we can help you out. You can give us a call and talk to our customer service people at 541-728-0690. Send us an email through the site. And once again, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you out on the bike.